Good morning, church family, or good evening. Sorry. It's been a long and a full day. I hope you've enjoyed your 4th of July celebration, and we have enjoyed that here at the Patrick family as well. And I wanted to give an update because I know there were some plans that we were hoping that we would roll out on July 5th, tomorrow being that Sunday. We had some plans that maybe Sunday school, nursery, things like that would be up and running. We have been working on some of the details, trying to work out what that looks like and how possible that would be, actually. And we just kind of are hitting some walls. And then again, Governor Wolf has issued a mandate that is another wrench in the whole system. And so I want to just lead us through this and do that in the most respectful way we can. And then also to encourage you that there are some things that we are working on in the future to try to just be more proactive in things like this. So, first of all, if you haven't heard, Wednesday, Governor Wolf and Dr. Levine, Secretary of Health of the Pennsylvania Health Department, issued a mandate that masks must be worn inside. But I read through the order, and it's clear that masks must be worn inside. But if you are outside and you're able to maintain social distancing, then you don't need to wear a mask. So in order to kind of work through these details for the near future, what we're planning to do is to have our services all outside. Now, Sunday morning, that's the way it's been. Just because of the number of people, we were unable to have those services inside and have the number of people and meet the requirements or recommendations, etc. So what that will mean, though, is that Sunday night and Wednesday night will be in the tent. We're planning to hook up some box fans and keep air circulating. We are also planning, and if you have feedback about this, then please let me know. I'd love to get feedback about it, but I've heard from many that this would be a great idea, and we'd be able to catch the service a few degrees cooler. And so the idea is that we will, not this Sunday, tomorrow, but next Sunday, have our morning service at 9:45. Move that up into the Sunday school hour time, and by moving it up an hour, we're getting out of the heat as it's getting warmer. We're catching the earlier and cooler temps for the morning. And so that's the plan for not tomorrow Sunday, but next week Sunday, that we will have the morning service 9:45, and that will be in the tent. Sunday night, 6 p.m. in the tent, and Wednesday prayer meeting, 7 p.m. in the tent as well. We are working on just making sure that we have some options, maybe for those in our church family, for some nursery care or what that might look like. And so you might receive a contact here in the next week or so, and asking some questions and getting some ideas together as to what this will look like. And we just want you to know we're trying to do our best to address the concerns, but also just be doing this as much as reasonably possible. And so I appreciate your patience and understanding. This has not been an easy thing to navigate, and trying to get all the counsel necessary to make these decisions. And I would really appreciate your prayer as we make it each and every step cautiously and carefully. As far as something that's down the road, I am not willing to continue to remain passive in these things. I feel that it's necessary for us to engage this ordeal a little bit more on the offense than just waiting for things on the defense. I'll tell you that for some reasons, the thing that bothers me is that this is a little thing. The wearing the mask and the mandate and all that could appear as like a little thing. But what I'm afraid of is that, as California's experienced, Governor Newsom saying no singing allowed. Well, churches out there, they're singing. They're going to sing, and they're going to defy the governor's order at that point because he's infringing the right to worship. Wearing a mask doesn't infringe the right to worship, but I'm afraid that since the governor saw that the Supreme Court ruled in his favor, I feel that the flex of power is going to be a little bit more intense, and I want to nip this while it's small. I'd rather talk and work with elected officials and find ways to dialogue with those individuals more effectively while this is a small issue than if it were to be a bigger issue. And so over the next few weeks, by the end of the month, I'm hoping that we will have a plan as to what channels we are going to begin to take to try to engage in that conversation. One thing I know we all can do right now, and I'm going to ask you to do this as I do this, and the one thing is I'm asking you to pray for our government officials that God would have that sovereign control. He already does, but that the heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord, that principle, that we would ask the Lord to turn the heart of the governor, turn the heart of these elected officials, and just keep it to where we are able to express our concern, and we're able to have an audience, and we're able to see God work in ways that are beyond our capabilities. And so that's my request. And as things are made more possible, I'll let you know if there's ways that you can get involved or that you could be a part of the conversation. I will say that you can always call our representatives to the state legislature and just talk with them. But if you do, I would encourage you that the first thing you say to them is, I feel that you are probably facing a lot of pressure, and what could I pray for you about specifically? And show that you care. So if you do call an elected official, I think that's a great gesture. And that's a gesture I'm planning to take as soon as I'm able to get a hold of one of them, set up an appointment or whatever the case may be, and just sit and look at them and say, I'm under pressure. I think you probably are too. Could I pray for you about something in particular? And by expressing that care and compassion, I think we'll be doing the thing that will truly bring honor and glory to God. So, does this make our life easy? No, it doesn't. I wish things were different. We already had plans to begin rolling things out this month of July and getting things back to normal. But I feel what will Romans 12 tells us to live peaceably with all men. Romans 13 tells us that there are principles of government authority that we are to obey. We're to obey their ordinances because that's an ordinance of God. We have a voice in America, so we have that luxury, and I want to seek out ways to use that liberty in the right way and wield that liberty with integrity. And then Romans chapter 14 admonishes us to not put a stumbling block in front of a brother. Well, my responsibility is to try to arrange services in such a way that no person will have that stumbling block. I don't want us to come to church and that we're grumbling and we're sour and we're upset and all of that because we're having to wear masks or because the governor said this or that. So by having services outside, we're not under any obligation to do that, and we're able to worship without that impingement upon our worship. And so I feel like this will give us the ability to have that service without the residual emotional baggage at this time. And so if you have any questions, please let me know. If you just want to vent, call me and let me know that too. I'm all ears and I'm willing to listen. And I want to be able to help and pray with y'all as much as possible as we all walk through this together. And so I hope you continue having a great 4th of July, celebrate those freedoms, be thankful for them, and may we maybe use this as a launch pad so that we will go into a proactive form of interacting with the things that are going on in our society and our state, and that we'll be able to see God work through us as the people of God, bringing about that salt and light change that needs to happen. Okay, and so I'll leave you with that. Again, if you have questions, feel free to text me, message me on Facebook, or email, call, whatever you'd like to do. I'm available, and I'm happy to help and discuss things as much as possible. So the short summary here, tomorrow, 10:45 outside, 6 p.m. outside, prayer meeting, 7 p.m. outside in the tent. Next Sunday, July 12th, I believe, that will be 9:45 in the tent so that we can catch a little bit of the earlier and cooler temperatures. Thank you all for listening. Talk to you later. Hope to see you tomorrow.